Okay, the first thing that I'm going to want to do is take my chicken breasts. Let's open the bag first. And I'm just going to do one at a time on these. Put this in here. The reason I put it in a Ziploc bag is so when I smack on that chicken juice and stuff doesn't go everywhere. All I want to do is just basically take this mallet and on the flat side is pound this chicken breast out to about 1/8 of an inch thick. Start in the middle and kind of work your way out. And that's really thin enough. And I've just got a styrofoam plate here. I'm just going to pull this out and put it on there and do the next one. And I'm just going to continue to do this until these are all done, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I get done. Okay, and here we have our chicken breasts all pounded out. They're about, like I said, about 1/8 of an inch thick. So the next thing we want to do is we want to get it started on our sauce. So let's go over to the stove. Okay, and large saucepan. We want about 3 tablespoons of butter. This is real butter. You can use margarine if you want to. So I just want to go ahead and melt this down. And I have my flour to add to that, and also I mixed it up ahead of time, but this is the chicken broth, the milk, and the wine all in one container. Figured it'd save some time. So as soon as this melts, then I want to add in the flour, and then we'll add in that and then cook it until it thickens. Okay, as you can see, our butter is melted. So I'm going to whisk in the flour. Okay. And you want to dump this all at once. And I've got this on about medium heat. I may have to turn it down just a little bit. I think I actually will. I'll turn it down to about 4. And you want to cook this until it's thickened, which I'm guessing will take probably about 5 minutes. So after this thickens up, we'll be back. Okay, we've cooked our sauce and it's thickened. You probably can't really see it, but it's thickened and it's bubbly. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to remove this from the heat. Hopefully you all can hear me because someone's talking in the other room. And I'm going to put a tablespoon of butter in there. And when that melts and stuff, I'm going to want to cook my onions. Okay, our butter is pretty much melted, so I'm going to want to put my onions in here, and I've got this on about 6. So I want to stir these until they're semi-translucent, softened, sweated down, I suppose. So I'm going to turn on the exhaust fan, so I will be back after I have these done. Okay, we've got our onions sweated down, so I want to put in our mushrooms that are drained. Like I said, I will get the recipe down with the description like I always do, so you know what the amount of the ingredients in the instructions are. Also, our crab, I'm going to turn this down, that's just a little too high. And also our cracker crumbs. And I had some saltines, but they were whole wheat or all grain or something. And I thought, so I got some nice buttery Townhouse crackers I crushed up instead. So like I said, if you have plain old saltines, I'd probably try to stick with what the recipe says, but I know from eating those whole grain or all grain crackers from before or whatever, they were just a little too overpowering as far as the flavor is concerned. And since crab and all these are pretty delicate flavors, I didn't want to overdo it. Besides that, you can't go wrong with anything butter flavored, can you? So, kind of stir this around, kind of heat it through a little bit. And we also want to put in half a teaspoon of salt and a dash of pepper, a couple 3 grinds. I like pepper pretty well, so 4 or 5 grinds, and some fresh parsley. And I actually got some this time. I don't have the dried stuff, so I have the actual real green parsley. And we're going to want to use 2 tablespoons of this. So I'm just going to snip this in here. If you can get fresh herbs, go for it. A lot of times I can't, so I just use the dried variety. That looks about like 2 tablespoons, don't you think? And I also want to get about 2 tablespoons of our sauce. So I'm just going to use a little gravy ladle. Put a couple of those in there. Okay. So now we're going to get ready to stuff our chicken breasts. And so I've got a 9x13 pan over there waiting, and so let's get this all stirred up and then we'll go over there and get started. Just want to make sure I got enough of this in here so it's going to stick together. Alright, let's go stuff our chicken breasts. So here's a real quick tip. I got a wet washcloth here. Just want to wipe that across the counter. And then some waxed paper. So like I said, if you wet that down, then it'll stay put. So let's get this over here. And put my parsley away real quick. And this has just been rinsed and wrapped in a damp paper towel. It's not real wet. It's just barely damp. And then in the gallon Ziploc bag and store it on the top shelf of your refrigerator, not in the crisper drawer. It's too cold. Just squeeze a little air out of it. And there you go. Alright, so let's try this. About a quarter of a cup down the middle of these. sure you can see. Okay. So just kind of roll these up however best you can do it. So like I said, I'm just gonna kind of tug it and roll it. And then place it with the seam side down in the 9x13 pan. And on to the next one. We'll keep doing this until we got these all stuffed, and then we'll be back. Okay, the nice thing about having this done like this, and I'm just going to throw these, I got a few little pieces left. This like this, so when you're done, you just basically roll that up and throw it away. One thing. So here you can see they're not the most beautiful things in the world. Kind of hard to roll up when you beat them to hell. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the selected the sauce on these. And I tasted this sauce just a few minutes ago. Yummy. That white wine in there really helps it out. And the wine that I used for this is Le Bourgeois, or Le Bourgeois, oh well, anyway. I suck at French. Le Bourgeois. Anyway, it's like I said, the wine in this and stuff is actually from a local Missouri winery. So it's a dry white. It's called Soleil from Le Bourgeois. So anyway, so we're going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees for roughly an hour. Okay. So there's our chicken. Let's cover it up with some aluminum foil. And into the oven for an hour. We'll be back. All right. Chicken's been in there for an hour, so we're going to take it out and put our cheese in here. And then we'll bake it uncovered for 5 more minutes or until the cheese is melted. Be careful taking this off, it'll be hot. We got our Swiss cheese here. They smell wonderful. And of course, they always make the cheese bags child-proof or adult-proof. Probably any kid could get into this bag. I can't. Crazy thing. Put the little slicey thing in the wrong damn place. Alright, there we go. I have a feeling that this is going to be really pretty rich. So like I said, with white wine and mushrooms and crab and Swiss cheese, that ought to be. Linda's making a funny face over here. Alright, let's put this back in here for 5 more minutes, and then I've got some broccoli for a vegetable. Give her 5 more minutes. We'll be back and see what this looks like. Okay, it's been 5 minutes, so let's see what this looks like. Alright. dig in.